You're listening to a DM podcast.
We would like to acknowledge and give thanks to the traditional owners of the land we record this podcast on, the Yagara and Turrbal people,
and their continued connection to the land and waterways on which we meet. Hello and welcome to Sportish, looking at life through the lens of sport. I'm Libby Trickett.
I'm Georgie Trickett, and there is so much good sport to discuss this
Well,
week.
Georgie, I actually have a complaint.
Oh, what a way to start the show. Go.
I'm just going with my Karen, my inner Karen.
The poor Karen. I was at dinner with the Karen on Saturday
Poor
night.
Karen.
And I feel like she's a legend. She does not fit that average description.
But the generalization of Karens, I am being a Karen. There's been too much sport, Georgie, over the weekend.
Is this your complaint? I stand by this.
You said there's been lots of good sport. I say there's been too much good sport.
And could, again, the gods of sport please talk about the scheduling?
Can you just talk to each other? It's insane.
Netflix and then the sport. Could you all just have a discussion?
Have a chat about it all.
There's only so much we can consume at one point.
So over the weekend, it was the final two stages of the Tour de France.
And they were epic.
Arguably, the last four stages, minus one, because we didn't really care about him. But the last, three of the stages of the last four were unbelievable. And I'm sure Aronsman would argue that his was very good too.
It was awesome for him.
Great. But Ben O'Connor winning the Queen stage 18, West Australian, unbelievable, crashed on the very first day of the tour, won arguably the hardest day on the tour.
Is it the steepest climb?
It's the most and the steepest. So there was three, they call it hall category climbs, which I think is appropriate. It's steep and it's long, basically, and there was three of those. So that's above a category 1 climb. So crazy good. Caden Groves, another Australian. He is a sprinter who went out on a flyer, broke away from the rest of the pack, won. What sprinter has ever done that? Unbelievable. And then just my heart was just so joyful because my mate wowed.
Our mate, the domestique.
The super domestique, Georgie.
Is that a categorization?
It's an actual thing.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
He is a super domestique who won the final stage going into Paris, broke away from Poggy, who was absolutely gunning for that stage win.
So I have to ask, is there an etiquette? Because usually the final stage of the Tour de France is uncontested until you get to the sprint right at the end.
Yes.
They literally pedal through Paris drinking glasses of champagne.
Yep, they're just bloody loving it.
But not this year. They've changed the format entirely and it was 3 loops of a circuit.
Yes. And Wout was definitely gunning for it.
So there wasn't this thing, though, that you should let Poggy win because it's the last stage?
No.
Okay.
No, he gunned for it.
I mean, it didn't look like Wout cared.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was delightful. So, the final stages of the tour, which I just want to bask in, because 3 weeks of very intense watching on my part.
It's been, we've really had to prepare ourselves.
I've watched some full stages. I have gone deep into this. The Ben O'Connor stage, I watched, admittedly, over 3 nights.
But did you watch?
I watched the full stage.
Okay, so I have discovered that my toxic trait at the moment is saying we are watching at least the 1 hour version of the stage tonight. And then
is there a 1 hour version?
Yeah. There's a mini,
yes,
and then a 1 hour. And then the
I've got to watch the 1 hour.
The 1 hour is really quite good.
25 minutes is not enough for me. I need more meat.
To get the context. My toxic trait is saying we need to watch the 1 hour and then falling asleep approximately 25 minutes.
So that's happened 3 times in the full stage.
I just cannot stay awake.
It's so they just lull you to sleep. You just see these amazing
tell me more commentators. Look at these green fields. Look at these riders all exercising.
Look at that beautiful lake.
No.
Good night. Thank you, Matthew Keenan, Brady O'Donnell and Simon Gerrans.
Thank you for just talking me into my sleep tonight. And then, yes, and I fall asleep and find myself on the couch an hour later going, I missed another great race.
What happened? Who won?
And there is not enough time to go and catch them up.
I know. This is the
washing machine of we have to watch all the stages.
So I'm watching the Caden Groves stage and I'm going to watch the full Wout stage.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how it's going to take me weeks, but I'm going to do it.
I think it's worth it. They are... The Caden Groves particularly, I just was inhaling every clip I could get of that yesterday.
Incredible, right?
And to see the emotion that he displayed as he crossed, and just you I think when you watch someone like Tate cross that line stage after stage, you almost just think that's quite normal, and that winning a stage is a pretty, not an average thing, but it's an expected thing. And then you see
for him it is.
And for Tate it really is.
Yeah.
But then you see these performers, these bolters out of nowhere take a stage win, and the emotion that pours out of them. And like the guy sitting next to him saying, thanks for letting me, do that breakaway. And you're like, well, Tate just probably didn't want it today.
Yeah.
But like that, like it means so much.
Totally.
It is such a big thing to win just a stage at the Tour de France.
You can really see the difference in that mindset, right? Tate is all about the GC, the Maillot jaune.
The general classification.
Correct.
For those not
who aren't keeping up, which is fine because, no gatekeeping. However, everyone needs to go and watch at least one stage of the Tour de France.
Yes, absolutely.
But then on Saturday, the Tour De France Femmes avec Swift started, and I'm like, I can't, it's too much. And then on Sunday, the bloody World Swimming Championships started.
And also the Wallabies played on Saturday night.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, it's been a good week. It was tragic. The Wallabies lost.
Oh, that's a shame.
But they have not played like that in such a long time that for all Wallabies fans, you actually felt like there was a glimmer of hope.
There was a chance.
That Australian rugby could come back up the curve. I think it was almost more heartbreaking because we led until the last 90 seconds of the game.
Oh, that's brutal.
So to get that close and to not win is tragic.
You know who did win?
Who?
The Australian swimmers. No offense to the Wallabies.
No.
That's great that they're doing better.
Good on the Wallabies.
Yes. Good on the Wallabies.
Good on the Wallabies. But they played really well. But the Dolphins in the pool. So you're now jumping. We're jumping all over the place.
I'm so sorry, but it's too much. This is what my brain has been doing all weekend. I'm jumping from one thing to the other to the other.
One thing I'm very excited about, and I think everyone needs to jump on board, the Tour de France Femmes, like you said, started on Saturday. That is, I think, an 8-stage. Is it 8 stages?
Yeah.
It's not a full.
It's only a week.
Yes.
And I say only in inverted commas.
As if we could write it ever.
Ever, even one stage, not even once.
No.
The coolest thing though, Georgie, the first 2 stage winners, the very first one, Marianne Vos, is 38.
Oh, legend.
The second winner of the stage, Mavi Garcia, is 41.
Was Mavi Garcia the race where there was a leader and she was almost waiting for Mavi Garcia to catch up so that she could take the stage win?
Correct.
It was like a masterclass in how to operate as a team in
Unbelievable.
cycling.
And the whole team were absolutely stoked and they were all celebrating. Like it was all of their wins.
So cool.
And then the other coolest thing is that for the very first time, the holder of the Maillot jaune is from Mauritius.
Hang on, what is the Marjon?
The yellow jersey.
Is that what it's called in French?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Maillot is a jersey. Jaune is
Oh, hello.
yellow.
Thanks for being our cultural interpreter.
You're very welcome. Croissant.
I want to take us on a bit of a documentary journey. There's been a lot of real sport to watch, live sport, but
Yes.
we also need to talk about, and we promised the Sporties last week we would talk about all the documentaries that are out there that need to be covered off.
And there's new ones as well.
Yes, and there's the Happy Gilmore 2 movie.
Yes. And did you see Ted Lasso's being season 4 starting?
And Bend It Like Beckham the second.
Shut the front door.
They've announced that they're going to start shooting it.
Like,
I know. That
15-year-old me is like
we all
stoked.
ate that up.
Like I frothed on it.
And at the time, I didn't realize how pivotal it was, nor how much I needed to see a movie like that. But obviously, we were so starved of any other female representation in sport other than A League of Their Own.
When was it?
Oh, I feel like we're in high school.
It would have been 2000-ish, wouldn't it?
Or yeah,
I
maybe.
just say 2000 for everything nowadays. That feels like a long time ago.
I mean, it wasn't last century, surely.
It surely wasn't the 90s.
It might have. Oh, it's 2002.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I
So
don't think,
17.
I don't think we knew how starved we were of these females in sport type movies.
Yeah. I don't remember anything
But
other than that.
if you talk to anyone about Bend It like Beckham. They've seen it. They remember the storyline. They remember thinking how amazing. I don't
That was Keira Knightley, wasn't it?
Keira Knightley, the other guy, he then went on to become
Someone.
Quite a deal. But it was a great movie, and we just hadn't had anything since. So that's starting as well. Where I would like to begin.
Please, tell me.
I started watching, because I've been so inspired by the Tour de France, a documentary called Breakaway Femmes.
Oh, amazing. I've been wanting, it's been on my list, but there's been too much live sport. Please tell me more.
So did you actually know that the Tour de France Femmes happened back in the 80s?
I did not.
So for 6 years, the women of cycling who had never really had an international platform. 1984 was when women, I believe, first started cycling in the Olympics. And that was the year as well that the Tour de France went, let's run the women at the same time. So they ran them each day at the same time as the men. And they either raced them before or afterwards. Oh, it wasn't quite clear.
So interesting.
Yes, and they raced for the whole 3 weeks. So they did slightly shortened stages.
Okay.
But they did all the hard climbs.
Yeah.
It was all
Col
in
de
there.
Lols.
And they were...
Col de Manalan.
I love it when you talk in French to me.
I just love it so much.
And I think the expectation was for many that the women would try and do it and fail, and everyone would go, well, there you go.
Sucked in.
We did say to you that the women couldn't do it because, their ovaries might fall out. But as it turns out, they absolutely nailed it. And they operated as countries. Their teams were as countries. So whereas now the teams are sponsor-backed.
Yes.
Back then.
Like the men's.
The women's was countries-based. And the girls who got sent for the first Tour de France back in 1984 were essentially the B team that didn't make it for LA Olympics.
That's so interesting.
And they had a point to prove. And they'd never sort of operated in these teams before, so they didn't necessarily know who was going to be the best or the strongest, and they had expectations. And then as you go through the documentary, it becomes apparent that actually, no, that person isn't the strongest.
Wow.
And different countries had different strengths, and the Dutch came out really hard to start with, but in the end, it was an American woman who won the race and won the yellow jersey by the end of it, and was standing up on the Champs-Elysees. So they did that for 6 years.
So why did they shorten it? Did they say in the documentary?
Why did they shorten the distance?
Yeah.
I think that was a scheduling thing, how do we get it all in? And I think by the end of it, it was like it had fizzled out. It had run its course.
Got you.
And then it didn't come back for another 30 years.
That's crazy.
So the Tour de France Femmes only started again in 2022.
That's crazy.
So this is only the 4th year.
Wow.
That it's happened.
What?
Yes. Which is actually batshit crazy when you think about it.
Batshit crazy.
I just assumed this was a sport that had been happening that we just hadn't had visibility over.
No, totally. I just assumed that it was running alongside the Tour de France.
No, it didn't. For 30 years, it didn't happen.
What?
Yes. So if you're sitting there going, I didn't really know about the Tour de France Femmes, that's okay.
Yeah.
It only started up sort of post-pandemic, and it's very new, and they're still sort of reestablishing it as a...
That's fascinating.
I mean, I don't want to downplay it at all. It is a massive deal.
Oh, huge.
It's still considered one of the biggest racing competitions in the world. It's an absolutely prestige event.
Yeah.
But it is shorter, and it's not run in parallel with the men. And a part of me was like, oh, is that a really big shame? And then I always think about what Ellie Cole says when it comes to the Paralympics. And actually, for her to run the Paralympics with the Olympics would not give the Paralympics the air it needed and the opportunity to shine in the way it needs to.
It's almost like that NRL. It's like the women are the curtain raiser, and actually the main event is the men's.
Yes, but again, and some of it, when the women play their final at the same venue as the men's final, and yes, it might be the game before, but then they get to play in front of 50,000 people.
Yes, yeah. So it's one of those.
Amazing way to profile the game. I don't know that they see it as being lesser.
Yes.
It's so tricky.
Yeah, to navigate. But I recommend Breakaway Femmes, even if you just watch the first half of it. Is that on SBS?
It's on SBS. I'm deep on SBS now.
I am so I am deep in the back catalogues of SBS.
SBS, what else do you have?
All of the Alone catalogue. the home of alone,
The
as
home
they
of
say.
alone. Yes, I think watching Breakaway Femmes, even just to get an understanding of where this sport has come from and what these women put up with, like they didn't have backup bikes.
Well, the ad that I saw on SBS, of course, is all about how this guy was saying that you're ugly. You're too ugly to race.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Blatantly.
what?
Oh, it was absolutely chauvinistic.
Which has made me want to watch it, obviously.
Yes, and actually a big shout out to our listener, Anne, who emailed me and said, you need to watch this. Like, it is so good. You will be so angry by the end of it.
Yeah.
But you absolutely need to watch this story. And she's right. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you, Anne. Well done. Georgie, as I mentioned at the top, the World Swimming Championships have started.
So I have feelings about this, and it's mainly—
Please, tell me.
It's mainly like, are we really already racing again so soon after we just had an Olympics? Like, why do they have it so close to the Olympics?
It was a year ago.
But that was exactly, it was only a year ago.
But this is what we live for. We only get like
30 seconds.
We only get to race like every year, once a year.
Right. So is there World Swimming Champs happen every 4 years?
Every 2.
Every 2.
So
okay, that's why it feels like it happens all the time.
So the Olympics are every 4.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Commonwealth Games every 4.
Thank you. Patronising.
Alternating 4-year cycles.
I am aware of the Olympic cycle. Just
so the Commonwealth Games are
the niche sport of swimming.
The Commonwealth Games are next year. So, and those alternate years are World Champs.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a big deal, the World Champs.
Yeah, arguably a bigger deal than the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing
because
that
it's
still
the
exist.
World Championships. But it's always the year after the Olympics is kind of a down year. Lots of main players have either retired or are taking time out of the water. But yeah, our campaign got off to an absolute flyer with the 4x1 freestyle relay teams, both men's and women's, winning gold on the first day of competitions. And considering, you know, we've had Emma McKeon out, Ariane Titmus is gone. She didn't do the 4x1, but like I didn't see Shayna Jack. She wasn't in that team. We had Olivia Wunsch and Mila Jensen who are on the team alongside Molly O'Callaghan and Meg Harris, who won and made up that incredible team. Olivia Wunsch just absolutely flew in the final leg.
I mean, that was ridiculous. She
like
was behind
crazy
and swam over the top.
Of Tori Husk, who's an Olympic gold medalist from America. So
is this sort of rebuilding stage here for the Australian swimming team?
Yeah, but is it rebuilding? Because we just seem to be going from strength to strength. It's wild.
It's a strong launching pad to go from.
Yeah. And the men's, which was just unbelievable. I'm not sure that we've ever, well, like obviously since 2000, I don't know how often we've won the gold medal at the World Championships. It was just
really. Is this for the 4x100?
For the men's 4x100 freestyle. So we had Max Giuliani, Flynn Southam, Kai Taylor, who's the son of Hayley Lewis, and Kyle Chalmers, who is obviously a stalwart. But just unbelievable. And like Kyle Chalmers, I do not know what that guy is eating, but he just goes
so far.
He goes better and better. And he's such a joy to watch in relays because he just lifts to another level.
Do you think Kyle is just really loving his sport now? Like he's got to a point now where it's less about the performance and more about the love of it?
Well, this is actually what I wanted to talk about because, you know, obviously I can talk about swimming until the cows come.
Yeah, and there is a point where I'll go, this is quite boring now.
That is enough. And fair enough.
Yeah.
I get it. But what I'm finding really interesting about the sport of swimming is that, you know, in my generation, it was really common for athletes to finish anywhere between the ages of 22 and 27.
Yes.
And now we are consistently seeing athletes who are swimming beyond 30. You know, Kyle Chalmers, Cam McAvoy, Cam.
So hang on, just to be clear, Cam hasn't retired.
No.
He's gunning for 28.
I reckon he's gunning for Brisbane.
Stop it.
He just keeps getting better and better. He's just had a little boy.
Yes, I saw that.
Which is so delicious. Well done to his wife, Maddie, who's currently at home looking after the baby while he's over in...
Oh, so he's swimming. He hasn't taken this year off.
He hasn't taken this year off.
Holy smokes.
So, and he looks like he's in excellent form and he just continues to learn and grow and evolve. But that's what I'm loving about the sport. Like you see Kyle Chalmers, who's also about to become a dad.
Yeah.
But he's also bought a farm.
Yeah.
Like these athletes are really starting to be more holistic.
Yeah.
And even Ariane Titmus, my husband and I, Luke, were talking about it because she's working as one of the commentary team for the World Championship. She hasn't retired, but she's really going full force into kind of, I guess, establishing a life outside of the sport. And my husband, Luke, was like, oh, I don't know if you should be doing that. I mean, he was talking specifically around the commentary piece and, you know, how that would play if you were still an athlete, then returning to the sport, which is a different conversation. But what I said to him is that I think it's amazing because that creates the opportunity for so much more longevity. And we're really starting to see that in other sports, but we're seeing it more and more in swimming, which just, I don't know.
It's like swimming has had to have some big low points.
Yeah.
And make some mistakes and not create those environments to really now be at a point where there's this level of flexibility that seems to exist.
Yes. There's no longer like a level of burnout that they all experience. That's what it feels like from the outside looking in.
I'm trying to think who was the first swimmer who actually said, I'm going to do this on my own terms and sort of set this standard.
In terms of like taking a year out?
Yeah.
Well, I reckon Lisa would have been one of the first.
Lisa Jones?
Yeah, Lisa Jones would have been one of the first because she took 2009 out of her career and then came back for the 2012 Olympics. And I retired and then came back for the 2012 Olympics.
But do you think that helped show the coaching staff that this was possible? Because I imagine as coaches, they were like, if you walk away, we will lose.
Well, you know what I think the biggest change is we're seeing younger coaches.
Interesting.
That, in my humble opinion.
So it's modern coaching.
I feel like it's modern coaching. I feel like we're starting to see the kind of old guard coming out. You know, we're taking what they had and the knowledge that they were able to put into the sport and into new coaches, but without that mentality that you just have to thrash people and you thrash them until they're done and then you burn out and then they're gone. It's such a joy for me to see that because I just think you're getting much more interesting people because I think like interesting athletes who are more well-rounded.
Yeah, I was going to say all-rounded people.
Yeah, like how cool that Kyle has a farm and he has a cow and stuff. But like I just think in terms of mentally into the transition piece, it's just going to be such a easier transition because they're more well-rounded. They have more life experience. It's not all up to how they are valued as humans in the pool. It's how they are outside of it as well.
Look, and that can only help the transition out of sport that happens at the other end.
I just thought it was interesting. But also an excuse to talk about swimming. Go watch the World Swimming Championships amongst all of the other things.
I think sometimes we like to end the show with a bit of a chat about what's happening down at the community sport level.
Yeah, whether it's us or other people or, you know, just things that we're seeing and hearing.
Yes, like as always, we love hearing your community sports stories and you can just send them through whenever you want to. But this is a topic that has actually been mulling around in my head for quite some time, and it's something I talk to a lot of parents about when I realise we have, I guess, this common connection, and that is the way that soccer is currently being structured for junior sport, so sort of for kids sport. And I'm going to say in Queensland because I'm not entirely sure if this is a national approach to kids soccer. I haven't been able to get that information at this stage. For those who don't know, in junior soccer, we have different levels, different clubs that either have a gold, silver or bronze. I'm not sure the exact terminology that's put around it.
Or the exact colour.
Or the exact Qantas
metal
status.
Platinum.
That gets attributed to these different clubs. But these clubs have different levels. And within these different leveled clubs, there's different opportunities for kids to play soccer. And when you start in these clubs, you don't entirely have this perspective because you might not be connected to the sport already. But as they get older, there is the opportunity to go into like a development type squad. And then there's also the opportunity in some clubs to go into an academy level of sport.
Yeah.
And
from what age, Georgie, is this
happening? From the age of 8.
It's insane.
So from the age of 8, these children are getting graded. And then they are getting put into various teams and parents are being asked to sign contracts and not discuss where they've been selected to play or what team they've been selected in. They're also told that if they speak to other clubs, their contract with their current club could be cancelled. Depending on the different clubs that you play for, kids are then put through a number of training sessions a week. So depending on the age or the level, you might be doing 2 sessions a week, which is not what I would choose for an 8-year-old, but I would say that in gymnastics you would see a similar thing, and maybe in swimming there's that opportunity to train a couple of times a week as well as play on a Saturday. As you get a bit older, it might be 3, or if you're in a higher tier, it might be 3. And then midway through the season, that child will have a performance review.
Oh my God.
And
so they could be dropped from the team.
Well, it's
arguably.
Not clear to me whether I don't think the intention is to drop them, but it's to say, here's how we're seeing you play.
To performance manage.
It's a feedback mechanism that's just very corporate and interesting in a community sports setting. And the more I hear and the more I see and experience within our family, the more concerned I get about the corporatization of sport that is happening at a kids' sport level.
Say more about that.
Well, I think to be in a development squad, you can be paying $1,500. To be in a academy level, it's more. And to put a child who's 9 or 10 in 3 sessions a week plus a game on the weekend, and then there's carnivals and all that sort of thing, that's an incredible cost that you're putting on a family. That's also an incredible strain you're putting on a child. You give the family, and I say family because it really is not just at that point a child's decision. It's something that impacts the entire family. But it actually starts to say to the family, this is the only sport you're going to have time to play. And we're specialising them through this program, and because of the way this program is structured. And it concerns me that then we start to get injuries because we're only playing soccer.
Yep.
And then we're throwing at families, well, now you really should do some extra coaching, and here's another cost. And if you don't do the extra coaching but the other kids in the team do, well, then where do you sit in the team? And now pre-season, soccer is a winter sport in Australia, and soccer will probably finish around October, and then pre-season for next year starts in October.
What?
And none of this says to me that we are thinking about what is in the best interest of the child.
No.
Because as you and I have discussed on a really regular basis, there's not much that says that you should be specialising a child. In fact, all the research would say that specialising kids this early is detrimental.
Yeah.
Not just to their physical health, and you get overuse injuries, but also to whether or not they will continue to play sport.
Absolutely.
And I just sit on sidelines and catch up with friends and hear this story repeated over and over and over again. Everyone's sort of signing up to it, and I'm guilty. Like,
you're doing it at the moment.
We have a child in one of these programs, and what I know is that he will not play soccer next year.
Yeah.
Because he hates not playing with his friends. I mean, at first we thought he didn't like it because his shoes didn't fit, and that was accurate. But it's come to light that he's also just not enjoying it. He doesn't want to train 2 times a week.
No.
And then play on a Saturday. That's just not interesting to him.
Because he's 8.
Because he's 8.
Like, who wants to do that?
He doesn't want to sit and have a PowerPoint presentation about what the club's expectations are for him.
Oh my God, they don't do that for an 8-year-old.
That was how that's how the season got set up. Oh my God. That's not age appropriate.
And, obviously we are speaking specifically about soccer at this point in time, but this is not an isolated thing for sport. Like, there are a multitude of other sports.
I think there are a couple of
issues.
sports that we have that participate pretty significantly in the kids' space where the business of sport is driving what the participation looks like.
I would argue performance as well, the business and the performance of sport.
Yes, but interestingly, I have not seen any information that says to me if you batch kids through academy programs from the age of 8, that changes what it looks like at the elite level.
I'm not talking about actual performance, but what is perceived in inverted commas as performance. Sure, if you train an 8-year-old 2 times a week versus a child who might only be playing once a week, probably there would be a difference in talent or
In the short term.
skills in the short term.
Yes.
However, a child who is playing one soccer a week but also doing swimming and gymnastics and tennis or a bunch of other things or, cross-country running in 7, 8, 9, 10 years' time, I would say that kid is going to be, for one,
still playing.
Yeah. 2, more well-rounded as an actual athlete, and 3, just having fun with their friends more than likely.
I just think we actually have a real problem going on.
I think there's a massive problem in Australia for sport.
It's not driven by anything what I think is the best interest of a child.
Totally
And I
agree.
say that knowing that there are so many wonderful volunteer coaches that are involved in these programs that do this with the greatest of intentions. I don't think any of those people are motivated by the wrong reasons. But I think as a community, we have to look at these structures that we're all existing in and we're all participating in and we're all sort of wondering about and go, hang on, why are we doing this?
And I've had this conversation so many times. It's like the way that society has been set up, I feel like no one, like we're just here now and it's like, but how did we get here?
Yeah.
Like, and how has this become the norm?
Yeah.
And why is this now the expectation that my child from the age of 7, I mean, coming back to swimming because everything does, there's a 12-year-old competing at the World Championships.
And that kind of makes me feel sick.
No, and, there was quips by the commentators like, oh, what were you doing when you were 12? I'm like, she should be at home.
I know, and I feel like that's quite controversial to say because all power to her. Like she's swimming and she's probably amazing.
I disagree. And yes, of course she is amazing and talented.
She's a child. These are not her decisions.
She's 12. Keep her at home.
Yeah.
Like, see what she's able to do as her body develops, as she gets older.
I have so much respect for the coaches.
And that probably is controversial.
And I guess I'm just really conscious of I wouldn't want to put that child down because at the end of the day,
no, she's
it's
amazing.
not her decision.
No, that's it. She's 12.
Yeah, and there's people that are putting her into those places. Like it's just these series of events that happened and you find yourself somewhere. And I have so much respect for the coaches like Bowley and like Gout's coach, who is really very aware, Gout's coach in particular, that she doesn't want to push him too hard too early because actually that's not in his best interest.
And I think, to play devil's advocate, there'll be a lot of people out there who are like, well, there are just some kids who are going to be hardcore from a young age. And
yeah, and they are. But what I have seen is that the kids that are hardcore about one sport are typically hardcore about lots of sports.
Absolutely. And as a parent, I think it's your job to slow them down for the long-term benefit of their physical and mental health.
I'm sure we will get a lot of feedback about this.
Please give us your opinion.
But tell us because we
don't think we have all the answers or that we're right. I mean, I do think I'm a little bit right, but, by the same token, I want to hear other people's opinions and experiences.
Yeah, and I think to close it out, what I know is that from the experience we've had this year, my son no longer wants to play the sport through that club system.
And he's 8.
He will now go and play because he loves it and he gets to play with his friends. He'll go and play indoor on a Saturday in summer.
Amazing.
And we will start pushing him into football codes next year and getting him to try AFL and things like that,
Amazing.
which are far more encouraging of
friendly,
a participation type approach, particularly in the primary school years. And I would say to any parent who's listening and going, oh, this feels like a little bit familiar to our family, if you've got doubts, you are not the only one who has those doubts. And what Libby loves to say whenever we're speaking to families and kids is that you don't need to be doing everything now.
Correct.
You just don't.
I have literally culled my kids' extracurriculars again because you need to work out, you want to give them as much opportunity as you can, but then you need to work out what works for you and your family at each stage and season that you're in.
And Libby can do that with the confidence of someone who went to an Olympics. So please don't feel like you're clipping their wings and that they won't be able to achieve whatever dreams they might have. That's not what's happening here. In fact, by pulling back and by making things a bit more chilled out and a bit less intense, you could be doing the best thing possible for your kid in sport.
And it's funny, just to finish off, it's funny because I know I go on and on about individual sports, but I feel like it's partly because you can pace it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, yes, a coach or a club might encourage you and, you know, tell you should be doing X amount, but really it's only you who, again, in inverted commas, letting down if you're not doing as much as what the other person is doing. Whereas in a team capacity, it's like, these are the expectations. This is what you have to do. And if you're not doing this and you're not playing rep and if you're not, you know, doing this carnival and X, Y, and Z, then you're letting the team down. And it feels much more intense. And that's why I personally kind of feel suffocated by that. And I'm not even a kid.
Yeah. So
I'm a
true.
40-year-old woman. Should have my shit together.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Sportish. We'll be back in your ears next Wednesday as usual.
Any thoughts, feelings, comments?
You
please
can send them all through.
Send them all through. Email us. Do we have email? We have an email.
Yeah, we have an email. hello@playonmedia.com.au. Please email us.
Please email us.
Anne's emailing us all the time, and I love that.
We
from Anne.
love that. And DM, slide on in, whatever. Come along.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.